Excuse me.
Yeah, so we're watching this video. A test to judge how good your parents were.
Yeah. So we're gonna do this. Yeah, that's right, guys. We've decided to hop on these stereotypical couples react things. So get ready for that. It's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be sick.
Yo, we're moving our hands like crazy.
This is how I talk.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I talk with my hands.
Have I picked this up from you?
Probably. So,
Probably.
Without further ado, let's get on into the video. Excuse me.
And rather awkwardly, it seems that no human being can ever really grow up sane unless it's been loved very deeply by somebody else for a number of years in its early life. But we're still learning what good parents might actually be like. How good were yours? Here are 8 principles of good parenting that you might use to grade them.
I don't even know what that
A loving
means.
parent gets down to the child's level, at times literally dropping down to their height when addressing them, in order to see the world through their eyes. They understand that a very young child can't easily fit in with external demands, and that in the early days they must be prioritized and placed at the center of things, not in order to spoil them, but in order to give them a chance to grow.
Aw, small teens.
Loving parents understand that their young offspring's lives revolve around details that are, by any adult measure, very minor. Toddlers will feel enormously happy because they can dig their nails into some putty, or have a chance to whack their spoon into some peas with energy, or say "bah" very loudly. And they will feel extremely sad because Pet Rabbit lost one of its buttons, or a page in a favourite book now has a tear in it. The good enough parent feels sufficiently resourceful inside not to hold it against the child that it's making a very big deal out of so-called nothing. It will follow the child in its excitement over a puddle and in its grief over an uncomfortable sock. It will understand that the child's future ability to be considerate to other people and to handle genuine disasters will be critically dependent on having had an ample fill of sympathy for a range of age-appropriate sorrows.
For the video who's watching right now, they just randomly showed the Earth getting destroyed. Like, what?
The best possible interpretation on behaviour that might seem to others to be pretty unfortunate. The small
Okay.
I like this scene.
I know, the scenes in here are a little weird.
They're
getting
cracking
a
me
little
up.
weird.
Yeah, they're cracking me up.
But,
Let's go over the first 2.
No, the first 2 for me, I think my parents did that.
So it was attunement, and what was the second one?
So attunement was getting at their level.
No, the second one.
And the second one was showing them showing them sympathy. So it's like whenever they think that like small things are a big deal, instead of going, stop, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
You know, you go like, oh.
Okay. So empathizing with them. Okay.
Sympathizing, not empathizing.
So not feeling for them, sympathizing for them, so feeling bad for them.
No, exactly. So it's like sympathizing as an understanding why they're that way, but not empathizing, because empathizing would mean that you're putting yourself in their shoes and like you're being sad with them.
Big brain shit. I went to college. Anyway, so yeah, I agree. Okay, I agree.
Okay.
And both my parents definitely did those too. So shout out to the Rent so far. Y'all been crushing it so far in this video.
So far.
That was a dusty, but let's continue.
It was a dusty. A dusty. Can you whisper me, please?
Yes, I will.
Child isn't just a troublemaker, but it has of course been very upset by the arrival of a sibling. It isn't antisocial, but it does find a small circle of familiar people especially soothing.
What if you just
it isn't
like,
a
yo,
nightmare,
that baby?
it does surely need to go to bed pretty soon.
Yes.
Its capacity for imaginative, kindly explanations will go on to mould the workings of the child's own conscience. It will learn the art of self-forgiveness. It won't have to torture itself for its mistakes. It won't suffer the ravages of self-loathing, or ever, when it messes up badly, be tempted to take its own life.
Wait,
Whoa,
what?
Okay. We joked.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, we joked too much during 3. Let's figure out 3 again.
Okay.
The best possible interpretation on behaviour that might seem to others to be pretty unfortunate. The small child isn't just a troublemaker, but it has of course been very upset by the arrival of a sibling. It isn't antisocial, but it does find a small circle of familiar people especially soothing. It isn't a nightmare, but it does surely need to go to bed pretty soon. This capacity for imaginative, kindly explanations will go on to mould the workings of the child's own conscience.
Imaginative,
It will learn
kindly
the art
explanations
of self-forgiveness.
of
It won't have to
feelings and things
torture
like that.
itself for its
Of why you
mistakes.
feel a certain
It won't
way,
suffer
like
the
it's not like
ravages of
it's unnatural,
self-loathing
you're not a bad
or ever,
person.
when it goes
Exactly,
badly,
like things like that.
be tempted to take its
That we
own
now
life.
take for granted, but
Yeah.
it's like when we're kids, we don't know.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
The
Yeah, you
loving
could
parent
easily
will feel
go
sufficiently
complete
sane
black or white.
to allow
Yeah.
a child to be a bit weird for a while, knowing that so-called weird is actually part of normal development. It won't get flustered
Meow!
if the child
The girl
is trying to pretend it's an animal.
Yeah, that was you.
Only
That was you.
colored foods,
That was
has
so
an
you.
imaginary friend living in a tree
That was
at
me,
the end of
though.
the garden. Adult will have faith
No, the one in the
sense
tree.
and knowledge, and in the wisdom of exploring a lot of possible options.
Just
before
pray,
choosing
she's
to
like,
settle
Lord Jesus,
on reason.
help my weird ass kid.
It will be able to remain calm
Oh,
in
jeez.
intense tantrums and obsessions. It won't need to shut down irreverence.
Yo, this
and
video is
terror.
gold.
It will be patient around low moods and unruffled by
Blah, blah, blah,
adolescent
blah, blah,
surliness.
blah,
The parent won't assign labels to the child that might fix it in a role it was only trying out. It will be wary of telling a child that it is the angry one, the little philosopher, or even the kind
I
one.
was the little
It will
philosopher.
allow the child the
Brianna was the
luxury
angry
of
one.
picking its own identity.
Wait, pause. I didn't get that
The
one.
good parent knows that
What?
So
children
what does the parent have to provide for that? So
The parent's not supposed to label them.
oh, not supposed to label them.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and instead let them be weird. Let them be themselves and find out who they are. So how you saw how it said the philosopher, because he was just always talking, always coming up with ideas, always stating things. Instead of berating him for being someone like that, you not encourage him, but you listen and you let him go through, him or her go through that idealism and those aspects and learning and that growth of what they're thinking on, and that mindset turns from a childish thought of philosophy and trying to think you know it all to being an idealist and someone who comes up and innovates with things, and you're a free thinker and someone who's like very important to the like world possibly, you know, by just like letting them be free in that manner, not berating them for thinking positive or thinking not positive, thinking a lot and thinking things. And then like the girl, she was the angry one, quote unquote.
She was just looking at herself.
No, they changed the next scene. The next scene, she was just like cursing all the time and just being like, I think it was showcasing like puberty. You know how everyone goes through like the angry stage or whatever. Yeah, so she was just being like, blah. Instead of calling her the angry one, you know, you understand and realize that this is normal and just part of growth. And once she grows out of that angry stage, she might end up becoming the rational one. Or she will end up becoming rational because she will have grown out of that angry stage, realize that she wasn't berated for that anger. She was understood and appreciated during the time. And then she'll grow out of it and be like, man, I really was wilding. And she'll take things growing up with in a calmer sense and with a real grain of salt and with a real calm head, you know? Yeah. I think my parents did pretty good on that, honestly. I think they did pretty good on that. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Like, I feel like they didn't label me in this sense.
Yeah, no,
But there were things they said that showed me that they labeled me in their head.
I know what you mean. I know what you
so
mean.
it
Yeah,
was
same.
Yeah, so
Same.
it was like, they
Same.
didn't say it, but
Yeah.
they didn't hide it well.
Right, yeah. I would say I think my parents did a 3/4 of a good job on this part. Because like you said, there was just it took away the mystique when they couldn't hide it. And you're just like, well, I know what you're labeling me, even if you don't say it, and if you genuinely don't mean it, I can tell what you think and what you trying to call me in your head. And then sometimes they might say it, they might have said it. So
My parents told me that I'm just like Emma Stone in the movie Birdman. Emma Stone is the daughter of the ex-superhero Birdman.
Okay.
And I still haven't watched this movie because I am so afraid of what kind of girl she's gonna be, and I'm gonna be like, if I watch this video, I might not talk to my parents anymore.
Oh, yeah, I'm dead.
And I don't
need to
want that
see.
to happen.
We need to see this movie, Birdman. I need to see this. I've never seen this.
So I'm not ready. I haven't seen it either. I'm not ready for this.
I will watch the scene. I will watch the. But the fact that you're Emma Stone is hilarious.
I know. I was like, what did she do? But then they described her as like an immature, like, just like,
like a
not
bratty.
yeah, just like not a good look whatsoever. And I was like, okay,
My so be.
that's fine.
So yeah, so this straight up called you out. Okay, that's yeah, I get you.
You know, see, like,
See, they went around the bush, but they called you parents, man. You're not slick.
yeah, I'm gonna give you
I'm
an
not
8
slick.
out of 10 for this one.
Yeah, we're good kids, so we're still giving you a majority.
We'll
but,
give you like a 7.5.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
Okay. Next clip.
The LA accent's gotta go.
She said the LA accent has gotta go. It's gotta go.
What was the title for this one?
For a long time.
Let's rewind.
Oh, it was only trying out. It will be wary of telling a child that it is the angry one, the little philosopher, or even the kind one. It will allow the child the luxury of picking its own identity.
They did give me the kind one, actually, when I was a kid.
The good parent knows that
And
children
it
may
was
well
the natural
cling
outlook.
for a
Yeah.
long time.
Look at that.
We will never dismiss this natural need for reassurance in pejorative terms. It won't tell the child to buck
What is
up
this,
and be
cleanliness
a
or
good
confidence?
little man or a nice young lady who can make me proud. It
Reassurance.
will know
Reassurance.
that those who end up securely attached and able to tolerate absence are those who were originally allowed to have as much dependence and connection as they needed. There will be few requests to be brave at the school gates.
That's me. It's okay.
A
See,
good
that my
parent
parents
won't
did a little too well with that part, and that's why they are the way they are right now. See, for those of you who don't know, I live obviously, she's in a whole other country. I am across the country from my parents, and, like, no qualms. Like, nah, like, it didn't worry or bother me. I wasn't scared. But it's because when I was a kid, they gave me, like, let me have as much, like, love and dote that I wanted, and then by the time I grew out of it, I was like, no, I'm good. And they're just like, don't you want to hug or something? I'm like, nah. Nah. I had 14 great years of that shit. I'm good. I'm good.
Meanwhile, Bean just friggin' hi! Hi!
Someone's like, I need love and attention, please.
Love and attention, please.
I got you, don't worry.
I know. Like, do you remember how I used to cling to my friends?
Yes.
Like, literally just friends.
Yes, you used to, literally
Like,
cling to people.
Yes, literally.
When I first met you, yeah, that was wild. I was like, dang. But I get it.
You have issues.
No, but I understood. I understood.
Issues.
My eye hurts. Oh, my eye's been hurting this whole fucking video. Ugh. It's okay. It is the price I must pay for being beautiful. I'm sorry. See, this is why my eye's gonna hurt for the rest of the night. That's karma.
Connection as they needed. There will be few requests to be brave at the school gates.
Perfection.
A good parent won't set themselves up as an impossibly glamorous or remote figure, someone whom the child may be tempted to idealize and ruminate over from afar. They will know how to be present and very ordinary around the house. Dignified perhaps, but also on occasion acting, forgetful, silly, and greedily keen to have too much dessert. The good parent will know that parental quirks and flaws are there to remind a child to reconcile itself to its own humanity, and also, eventually, to leave home and get on with their own lives.
Nope.
Yeah, my parents did a good job
A
of that.
good parent will know
You said
how
no?
to
My
appear
parents did not do
very
that.
good. It will
They did-
understand
wait,
that what
can
a
we-
child
can we
she
pause?
Yeah,
finds
it's pause.
Like,
Pause.
literally? Okay.
and flaws
My
are there
dad
to remind
was a
a
Korean musician
Yeah.
who had
Is.
achieved heights by 20.
Yeah.
My mother just was the prettiest girl wherever she went. Literally wherever she went,
Yeah.
she looked like she was still 30.
Yeah.
And she just turned 30 or something.
Yeah.
And this woman was like 40 or 45.
She was looking good. She was looking good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like my chubby ass just like down here looking
Your
at these
chubby
people,
ass. Your ass.
just like
chubby.
and I'm a little slow too, so they just look at
And
my
I'm a little
slow chubby ass, so just like staring at them like
I'm deceased. I am deceased. Don't talk about my baby like that.
it's true though.
She said you were so chubby. You're just
Hey, I slow, but I get there.
Yeah, that's true. You get that.
But I get there, guys.
Yes. You're not slow. That's just funny though.
Thank you.
I love that sitting down I seem like I'm short because I have no torso.
I know, it's great that you're at my level.
Like,
and
yeah.
I don't seem that small.
Yeah, and videos are gonna be like, dang, he's one short ass king. Yo, what's up, short king? And I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm part of the short king crew. But shout out to my short kings out there. Shout out to the short kings. I'm not even gonna say how tall I am, so shout out to the short kings. Anyway, what do we? What's next? What's next? This one.
Boringness, I think.
Oh yeah.
Child to reconcile itself to
You
its
see all the
own
dust is flying in the
humanity,
air?
and also
Can you not see
eventually
it with the
to
light?
leave home and get on with their
No.
own
Wow,
lives.
that's crazy. There's so many dust spin.
A good parent will know how to appear very boring. It will understand that what a child chiefly needs is a source of reliable calm, not fireworks and excitement. It has enough of these inside its own mind. It should be there, in the same place, saying more or less the same things for decades. It should
What?
take care to be predictable and to edit out its surprising moods.
Really?
The child doesn't need a full picture of every perturbance and temptation coursing through its carers' minds.
Oh, actually, yeah,
The
my parents did
parent
that.
accepts that mummy or daddy are roles, not full representations. It should be the privilege of every child not to have to know its parents in complete detail.
Okay. Remember, that's for a child.
The good parent isn't
Yeah,
looking for
that
a
I
balanced
agree with that.
relationship.
I agree with that. A child, to a certain extent, while a child is a child, they should be allowed to be a child. Like, yeah, you can bring them into like adult conversations and things like that once they get to a certain age of understanding. But every kid deserves to be allowed to be a kid
Oh yeah, definitely.
and keep their innocence until it's not necessary. Like, I'm thinking when they're referring to child, I don't know what age they're kind of stopping at with child. I'd probably say whatever age you get to middle school at, you stop being a child. Like
You're right.
child.
I think so.
You're a kid once you're in middle school.
You're right.
And I think at that point,
Like I feel like
11.
kid is like 4th, 5th grade though.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think when kid begins, it's fourth and fifth grade. I know. Yeah. Specifically, I think you're totally right. Fourth grade is probably when a kid begins, for sure. So I would say probably anytime before 4th grade, you should let your child stay a child. Like be that mom, be that dad role. I understand that. I think my parents did that pretty well. I think.
Your parents did do that very well, and not
I know
only
my dad
that,
for
with
sure.
the-
I still never seen that nigga
with
cry.
the quote unquote.
but anyway, continue.
Here's a different way that I'm gonna ask this question.
Okay.
Okay. I forgot what we were talking about. A little slow, guys. A little slow.
Next up, no, we were talking about the boringness and like
Right.
yeah,
Right. So your
going
parents,
to the same school.
So your parents, from what I know about your life, your
Yeah.
parents still kept a very steady home life. You know, you guys were all loved. You guys all stayed together. The
Yeah,
core
100%.
values of the family were
100%.
always upheld, like the traditions and like the family dinners and or like
100%.
this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even for a while, we did the same. We like had family game night every
Mhm.
single I think it was like Thursday or something like that,
That's what you
or
said.
not Thursday, because my dad had work. So I think family game night was on the weekends. But yeah, we would always have a family game night. We would always go to the movies every weekend together. We'd always eat dinner together at some multiple times a week. Yeah. Actually, we'd always eat dinner together every single time. We always ate dinner together. We still always eat dinner together if we're all together. So that makes sense.
Damn.
Yeah.
I had none of that. Let's go.
Damn.
It's not their fault. I
It's
just had
happy
another
to
thing.
give
Yeah,
unilaterally.
different lives,
It doesn't
different
need to
ways.
be asked how its day was or what it thinks of the government's new policy on insurance. It knows that a child should be able to take a parent substantially for granted. The parent's reward for all their work
Baby's like,
won't ever be
yeah.
direct. It
Yeah,
will
that's right,
arrive
I'm
by
Baba
noticing
Gooby.
many years'
I'm Baba
time
Goobies.
that that child has just developed into a very good parent themselves. Put simply, love is the considerate, tender, hugely patient behaviour displayed by an adult over many years towards a child who cannot help but be largely out of control, confused, frustrating and bewildered. All in order that this child might over time grow into an adult who can take its place in society without too much of a loss of spontaneity, without too much terror, and with a basic trust in its own capacities and chances of fulfillment. It should be a matter of
Yeah, that's
global
exactly what I thought.
consternation that despite our many advances, we are still only at the dawn of knowing how to ensure that we all have
That baby's
the
so
loving
ooh.
childhoods we deserve.
Wow.
How to Overcome Your Childhood is a book that
But see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, all these things, like, we listen to this and we're
Okay.
like, okay, that makes a lot of sense how children need all these things.
Right.
But I feel so bad for parents who didn't know this because it's like,
Well, they weren't taught.
exactly. No,
and they didn't
it's
have
like,
these videos. They didn't have. Well, they had books, but like, how much do you trust a book, really?
No, but it's not only that because this video is basically telling you to give up your life. Like in a lot of ways, it's telling you to give up the spontaneity in your life
It's
and be a rock.
well, it's not saying give up your life. It's saying what everyone should know who's going to have a child. Having a child is a responsibility. You're not just having a child, you know? Like you're not just like having a kid and then like, all right, time to go, do my own shit. Like
Right.
it's a responsibility. So if you're going to have a child, what they're saying is it is now your like being a parent is now your role. Yes, you are still human. Yes, you can still have your ups and downs, your ebbs and flows, and what have you. But at the end of the day, now that child is a child, it's born, it's a human, it's yours, and you're a parent forever now. You're a parent. What your goal and what you're hoping is that you can raise that child to be good enough to want to be on its own and to be able to handle being on its own by the time it's like 18 to 20 something. So that way you don't have to do all this stuff for the rest of your life. But as a parent, that is what your job is. You're always going to be a parent. Even when they're 50, 60 and you're somehow like on your like you're old with a cane, in the back of your mind, you should still want to take care of them. Because like that's your baby. You know?
You're right.
That's your kid.
You're right.
Yeah. That's your little snuggles bookums. You apple of your eye, you know?
It also makes me think that we just need like AI, like raised by wolves,
Okay.
or perfect beings who can be
I understand that.
perfect rock for children.
I understand that.
No,
I understand
a
that.
little bit.
I understand that, but the lack of lack of differentiation and emotion with that,
But we need to give them emotions.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
it's like so scary.
yeah, it's like we can't program the AI emotion
But
specifically.
But nothing will go wrong if we treat them right and equally.
What, the AI?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even getting on like taking over and all that stuff. I was just talking
Oh.
like I'm gonna keep it like straight on
I
the
went way too far.
yeah. I was just gonna keep it straight on the raising the children aspect. But
Right. Back to the children.
yeah,
Back to the children.
that's
okay.
the little kiddies. When it comes to that, like I do think the sprinkled inness of yo, you're hilarious. I do think the sprinkled inness of the range of emotions that like real life parents provide also is a benefit to raising a child, like to that child's mentality, like seeing your mom be tired
Yeah.
of taking care of you, like just being tired of doing the dishes or like taking you to the school every day and having to wake up super early in the morning or whatever whatever lifestyle you lived at the time and that your mom had to do. Seeing that as a child lets you realize that like, oh, they're putting in effort and they're tired. I should appreciate them more. Or it might make you seem like, oh, they're doing something that's hard. That's what effort is. That's what that looks like. And then yet she still smiles at me. I walked into the room. She didn't notice I was there. I see that she's drained. She's dead. She's tired. But then as soon as she notices I'm in the room, she smiles at me.
But see, this is the beauty of the human mind. AI computers right now are go as far as the human mind go, right?
Mm.
Like,
no, we're still better than AI right now because of the complexity that we can do.
Okay,
that's the only reason why.
I'm saying that they can only be as good as a human brain.
Oh yes, right now because we're the ones who are programming them. AI cannot make other AI at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that because we know that humans, when they grow up, need to see that their mom being tired and all that kind of stuff, humanly aspects of them.
Yeah.
We can program that into the AI. That's the beauty of knowing all that.
That is true. You're totally right. That is true. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to do, but I think eventually that would be possible, and I do think eventually they might do that. What I think is going to really happen is that they're going to take a lot of kids or people who turn out well, and then they're just going to model what they tell them, like how they were raised, or they're going to interview their parents, and like they're just going to get like, I think it's going to be a giant focus group, like millions and millions, like over a course of like 20 years. I think you'll have like focus groups after focus groups of all of these really athletes, like successful athlete parents, like doctor parents, like successful celebrity parents, like people, mundane, everyday people who are just living life but are happy.
But shouldn't it be, exactly, I was
like,
thinking
everyday people.
People who were successful in their careers, I think the better...
Well, you know they're going to do that just because it's the government. Everyone's going to try to breed the top.
I don't know, like, I feel like at some point within our life, the government will start prioritizing the happiness of their citizens more than the career aspect.
I hope to God.
I
really hope you're right.
I believe in our generation.
In our lifetime?
Yeah, that's how much
in our lifetime I believe in you. No, in our lifetime I believe in you. I believe in that. In our lifetime for sure. Like, yeah. Especially by the time like we're in charge and then Gen Z is basically like almost in charge. I think this whole world will be mad different, just everywhere, not just here, but like everywhere. Like,
all
right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in today to this different type of video that we've never done before. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Before I wanted to give it more time. So, okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for joining us, watching this video. Requests, we'll be probably like, we might do these with other random videos that we find, because So's like YouTube algorithm shows all these types of videos like all the time, all these like cool, interesting, introspective type videos or whatever that we love to watch, and we just figured why not, let's just start like reacting to them. Or I didn't figure, she figured, and was like, hey, let's start reacting to them. And I was like, I mean, of course, yeah, I'm totally down. So so I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. So you got anything you want to say to them?